But we've been at this now 3 weeks and 1 day. So we're just inside of 2% on a 36-month process. We continue to have new people to join us. And so as groups go, when new people come, they're trying to find their space in it. And they all got all these pent-up emotions and need to kind of, be heard and that kind of stuff. And so a couple things are critical in order to maintain continuity. First, be respectful to those people, but also ask that they respect us because we have been at this for 3 weeks and a day, and we kind of sorted through some of the emotional stuff. But one way to help them do that is kind of give them an onboarding, so I'll take a couple of minutes to bring everybody to speed. The first thing I'm going to say is that we do this as a 36-month process. And let me just give it to you this way, that's about 156 weeks, so 10%, I think 10% is 15 weeks, and 1% was 1.5, so 2% is 3. So all the you shoulds and we shoulds, okay, all the what we should be doing, we got a long time to do it. So those kinds of statements don't really help, all right? That's the first thing we got to realize. This is a marathon and not a sprint. So the second thing is we're factually based, so we've got lots of opinions and emotions, but we're struggling really hard to do things the right way, get the facts, and then move from there. Everybody's got an opinion, and every opinion is special, but the group's actions are the most special things. We started with 2 meetings a day in the first week, 2 meetings at 8 and 3. In the second week, we moved to 1 meeting a day, and I think now we were at 3 a week, now we're down to 2. Next month, we're going to 1, and by August 1st, we agreed that we will be at once a month. That's the journey that we're on. We're choosing that journey because we formed into work groups, and they have also evolved. We started with debris removal, outreach, patch and repair. All the debris is now gone, so that's not there anymore. We're organized around housing, human needs, contractor capacity, employment, communications, transparency and accountability, and eventually we'll get a fundraising component going. On Friday, we completed the transition to Red Cross, and there was a plan put on the table around what we will do to meet human needs. Last week, we got an update from the county. I think we concluded from that there's still uncertainty about where approximately 5,000 people are. So that's a big question that's on the table. Today, we would have Marion, but there was communications gap. We're working to schedule him another time, but we have Mike Christensen here, and we're also going to have a discussion later with the mayor's office about having a permanent liaison that brings us up to speed every day. The housing folks, and by the way, the human services, human needs element is being led by Shonda Smith-Baker, and you'll recall her presentation on Friday, which talked about how they took over the handout from the Red Cross and what we use for critical needs for their effort, and ultimately the submission to the Minneapolis Foundation, which is due on Wednesday. Her items are mainly around infrastructure. I think that was a phone bank, database, some navigators, somebody to hold that group together, and we also requested someone to hold this group together because we don't have any minutes, we don't have agendas, we don't have a lot, all right? But we got a will, and you've been here, so we're going to work with that. Today she's going to bring in the final piece and suggest, exactly what it is that I'm asking for. She's indicated that she's going to put away. And there was to be the selection of fiscal agent, and the criteria was developed on Friday, and that will be put on the table today. We agreed as a group that none of this has been perfect. We are making it up as we go. We're trying to do good. That's why we're here. And some things, there are some hiccups. For example, as you might have read in the press last week about the whole We Care Minneapolis and the contracts. Well, gee whiz, it happened. All right, now we're going to fix it and move forward. But the main thing was to have a response and not get caught up in a bunch of bureaucratic red tape processes and fights. And that's also what's going to happen with the fiscal agent. The process is put on the table, so people are assigned to get it done. Whatever they bring here, we're going to get it done. Everybody got that? Okay, we're not going to rehash the work. We're not going to go back over the audit process. It's not perfect. No, it's not going to be a perfect solution. But the main thing is we can work it more professionally. Today we're going to make the decision because the deadline is Wednesday. And again, if I read about it anywhere, just make sure that you quote me right. That's all. Okay, this is about leadership, by getting the job done, not by fighting, not by going in circles. And I'll stand behind any decision that the committee makes. And we're going to keep moving. The other thing we're going to do is hear from Shonda when she gets here. And before we kick into that, I do want to take us over a significant piece of work, business that we began on Friday. And what that's all about is how we're going to relate to each other. You know, how we're going to work together. What makes us different? You know, my phone is buzzing out the hook. Why in the hell am I up in the middle of this? And I told them I've been in the middle of this for 22 years. All right? They don't think we can work together and get anything done because there's too many chiefs, too many egos, too much anger. I don't believe that. So on Friday, we talked about the ties that bind, how we will work together, how we will strive to work together collectively to move through this 36-month process and not become a reason, not behave in such a way that people who are looking for an excuse not to do anything have an excuse. That's in our hands. That's in our hands. And it's how we relate to each other and how we treat them when they come into this room. The one thing that I'll commit to is that this will be a safe space. Okay, this will be a safe space. It is private property. So for all my guests on this property, I guarantee a safe space, meaning emotional, intellectual, and definitely not physical confrontations will not take place here. Because we've set a code of conduct that we've agreed to, and eventually, and because we're not an organization of government, the Sunshine Law, the Open Rules Law, none of that applies. Talk to my lawyers in Dorsey. So I'm committed to the peace. And I think everybody here said that. And so we said that our first order of business is discipline. And discipline is all about being committed to the thing that we said we want to do. That is to understand and meet the needs of the people of North Minneapolis. Respectful listening. Assume a good and pure place. Move the agenda and be productive. Brevity. Be ambassadors. And this is important. It is what it is. You know, the thing that in my gee whiz, my 27 years, 28 years of leadership, if you're part of a team, you don't badmouth the team. You're the team. I mean, it's like you can't have it both ways. So you got to choose. I mean, that's and you get a chance to make things happen here. That's really important. And the other thing I learned from playing Uno with my 9-year-olds, you can't win them all right? Sometimes you gotta let things go and wait on the next hand, rather than falling out and walking away from the game. Own your opinion, no ambushes, and it's not personal. That's another big one too. I know some people have differences with other people, and Reverend Coleman has suggested to me, and I really appreciate this, we need to find a way to work through some of those things head on, so that we're not always, y'all see dysfunctional relationships before, okay, so we're not always dealing with other people's stuff. We're going to get to that. Treat it as a business meeting. We are here to conduct people's business. Everybody signed on for free, nobody's a court order, so we're just going to run this thing as we would anywhere else. And then finally, promote unity. I would hope that we all subscribe to that, and that's why we're here. We believe that together we can get more done than we can individually. That's pretty much it. I'm fascinated by this because I did a collaborative effort 3 years ago with Higher Minnesota. It's a little different, but that work, by what we said, that work now takes care of itself. They don't even need me anymore. And hopefully that's where we're headed. All right, that's all that I have as a way of teeing things up. Shonda has joined us now. What I'd like to do is get your update on where we are with the submission for the Minneapolis Foundation that's due Wednesday, and then see where we're going to go to from here, and that'll be followed by the folks who were to make the selection for the